Anti-government protests in Beirut take a violent turn in what's been declared a week of rage. French President Emmanuel Macron, expecting a quiet night at the theatre, was met with angry protesters. And residents in the Philippines hoping to find some hope in the midst of that volcanic eruption, turning ash into bricks to help rebuild their community. Hello, I'm Lynda Kinkade. Welcome to CNN Newsroom. We are following that breaking news out of Lebanon, where anti-government protests have taken a violent turn. Tear gas and water cannons are being fired at crowds in Beirut. Demonstrators responding with fireworks, rocks, bottles and Molotov cocktails. Their anger is over the government's failure to appoint a new cabinet and, of course, the lack of economic stability. Well, the Lebanese Red Cross says dozens of people have now been sent to hospital due to that violence. CNN's Ben Wedeman is out amongst it all in Martyrs Square in downtown Beirut and joins us now live. Ben, we certainly have been seeing dramatic scenes the last few hours in what has been described as this week of rage. Tell us about it.
Yes, these demonstrations have been going on now for several hours. We are in Martyrs Square, but they started just up the street from where I am at the Parliament. Now, we've just learned that the president of Lebanon, Michel Aoun, has called for the army to intervene to try to restore order. But at the moment where we are seeing no sign of the army. What we are seeing is several hundred security forces who are overwhelmed by a crowd of hundreds and hundreds of young men and women who have been fighting with the security forces now, as I said, for several hours. Now, this is what's being called the week of rage. Really, what Lebanon has reached is the tipping point as far as the financial crisis goes. Unemployment has skyrocketed in the last few months. The local currency has lost 60% of its value against the U.S. dollar, and this is a country that imports almost everything. So the price of ordinary goods has gone up 35, 50, 60% in some cases. Many people have lost their jobs. Others are only being paid half their salaries. Others simply not being paid at all. And what people were calling for was the formation of a government of non-politically affiliated technocrats, but the country has had a caretaker government for the past 2.5 months that seems utterly tone deaf to the economic crisis of this country and equally tone deaf to the demands of the people in the streets of Lebanon. Lynda?
You put it quite well there. It's tone deaf is a good way to describe it, given there has been this power vacuum essentially for months. As you say, the Prime Minister resigned back in October. You have been out covering these protests during those months. How does this one compare? How bad is it?
This is the worst. There's no question about it. In terms of the number of people, the duration, the scope, because we've seen day after day, either in Beirut or elsewhere in Lebanon, we've seen these clashes going on, and yes, this is no question the worst yet. And what we've noticed in the last half hour is that these security forces who have been using tear gas have started to deploy shotguns. So they're using birdshot against the protesters. Clearly an indication that they simply cannot handle this situation as it is, and it's only getting worse. Lynda?
Ben Wedeman, please take care there, you and your crew. We will continue to follow this story throughout the day. Thanks very much.